Yo, unemployment, day six, day seven, unemployed 1 week ago tomorrow. So I think this is like day six or day seven. Who really knows? Who really cares? Who's really counting? I really don't have anything to talk about at all. I feel like everything that gets talked about now has been talked about over and over and over and over again, and you can find so much of this shit everywhere you go. I mean, I'm still reading my book. If you've been here before, pretty good, solid. I'm like maybe a third of the way through. I probably could be way more if I stopped fucking using this thing, but this thing is like, I don't know, the most addicting thing to ever exist. Um, Even though I have apps that block my screen time and I have something on my laptop that blocks my screen time, I still find my way consistently using my devices. It's genuinely outstanding. Just got home from the gym. Kind of hit like a weak ass leg day, but I was just like, it is what it is. I have sparring later, and then the other day I made a bunch of chicken. The chicken was so fire. Um, I've been getting into cooking. I don't know. I was at the bar yesterday just for one. And these guys next to me, they were hammered because it was St. Patty's Day. We're talking about how like they don't cook or it's cheaper to not fucking cook. And I'm just like, these are like grown ass fucking men. Like I'm 24, but these guys had to be in like their early 30s. And they're talking about they like one guy hadn't cooked in like 2 years. Like how are you that fucking just like I don't want to go like I'm some Sabrina Carpenter useless shit, but like low key maybe she's spitting, low key. I saw that makes the rounds on Twitter, and it's like probably not the best thing, but like it's also I don't know. None of that shit is fucking real. It's all really bullshit. And for the most part, if you do talk to people like and you have good energy, people will want to talk to you. It's just like more in your own head and trying to get out of your own head and realize like I don't know, if you're gonna be yourself and you're cool with being yourself, then you're probably gonna have a lot of people that don't like you because the more that you are yourself and you're expressing who you are, you're gonna like polarize people in either direction. But I think it's better to have like 10% of people, really like you, love you. I don't really like using that L word. That's a big word. You know what I mean? Um, and 90% of people dislike you, then have like 100% of people who are just like 4 out of 10, like, eh, about you? And over time, if you end up like finding enough people in that 10%, those people are probably going to know other people in that 10% anyway. So by being yourself, you're at least able to like attract the people that are meant for you. Not even in like a romantic attraction way, but just like bring, friends, business partners, whatever into your life just because you're authentically expressing yourself. I think that's really just what everybody wants, but people just get afraid of it. Most people do want to feel seen and like part of a community where they're important, I guess, and that has been taken away. Not taken away, but the way how like things work, you're very disconnected because the people that you work with are different from the people that you're like around, and your work doesn't. Well, I mean, I'm talking about work. I'm unfucking employed, but in general, it's like none of that shit really like has any like grand scheme of meaning or mattering. Which isn't great. It's not. It's definitely not great. I had recently read um, a biography of Alexander the Great, and I'm kind of reading one about Napoleon. It's longer than I expected. I feel like back then, war low key might have been like a vibe, because you were just like in the trenches with your homies. You know what I mean? But like now, like I saw a video on Twitter of some guy getting fucking blown up with like a drone. It's like, that's not war, bro. Like, come out and fight me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even like go and join a war because war is so like technology now, like, and it's drones and it's missiles and it's all this fuck shit. Like, that shit ain't war, bro. That shit ain't war. It's not. What I This is all over the place, but I think that's just how these things are gonna be unless I like iron out what I want to talk about on these. And for now, I do appreciate the 7 subscribers and the 150 people and 150 views on the last video. I mean, I didn't think people would actually want to listen to me speak. Um, but I guess everyone is looking for new, authentic content. I don't know. I'll continue to make these. I kind of enjoy it. Although I'm unemployed and forgot to make one yesterday. Just, I don't know, I didn't really do shit. But I digress. I already forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, like, I would, I don't want to say I want to see what it would look like, but I wonder, like, what a war would look like of, like, militias nowadays. Because it feels like, there's so many different, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at some point, like, the bubble has to burst and people have to be a little bit, you know, acknowledging of what's going on and there has to be some sort of resistance. But when the military and like stuff like that, like everyone's like has like big ass guns and drones and missiles and shit, like you really can't like start nothing. Like I don't know how that would function. Not to say I am FBI, chillax, but I just like feel like you're kind of in like a very controlled state where you can't really go and do shit because everything is just being monitored and the technology that's available at this large scale is not available, at the population level. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about that. I made an Upwork profile, or I remade my Upwork profile today to like try and find some side hustle shit. But like if you're picking up side hustle stuff on Upwork, like then I don't get unemployment. So if I can not work and get paid, I feel like it makes way more sense to do that than work and get paid. Although I really need to probably figure something out because my lease, I can make it to the end of my lease, but then I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't really want to go back into an office. I don't know. My friend wants to move into Manhattan with me in September, but I don't really know if I want to live with him. We're friends, but I think we were better friends in school, and I've now lived by myself. Shit, for almost 2 years now. And I don't know like how I would handle or want to have a roommate. And I also think if you're living in Manhattan, it can become very easy to get like roped up into the whole going out all the time and spending all your money on fucking restaurants and drinking and cocaine and like that whole 9 yards. And I'm 24. I think I've said that already this video. But like, I moved there in when I'm 25 and very quickly like 10 years gets spit out and you're like 35 with you haven't really built any wealth because you've been letting lifestyle creep come in. You're like you don't have any serious like prospects for marriage because like you're in New York City and everyone is just kind of like interchangeable. So I've been trying to think around like what I want to do next and where I want to go. I think I want to like move to fucking Ohio. Just because I think the real estate market there is decent to try to run like some multifamily rentals so I don't feel like I have to like work 24/7 and it's easier there to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond and if that doesn't work out and I have enough money at the end of my Ohio chapter end up like going to South Florida or something. But like that's like so far in advance. Like right now I'm just trying to I don't know, take this shit one day at a time. Like I was working in tech sales as an account executive, but I don't know if I want to like go do that again. I like these like enterprise level deals. Like I just don't know if I care. You know? I saw a tweet the other day from I think it was like Windy Man on Twitter. If you guys know who that is, I have no idea what the fuck. Like I'm online, and I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably online a lot too. But he made a tweet about how like love is rare, and that's why like people aren't like getting together anymore, and how the whole of society is downstream of like couple formation, like getting a mortgage, building a whole thing, like it kind of needs two incomes now. But I feel like that's not necessarily true. Like I don't know if love is rare. I just think that the society we've created has made it so that it's hard to find on a large scale because people are interchangeable and we're old. Like, there was another tweet in response to this from another guy, and I kind of agree to what he had to say. I have no original thoughts, but it was just like that, like love is for the young. And sure, I'm 24, but like in the grand scheme of history, like this is old. You know what I mean? Like my dad had kids at this age. Most of his friends had kids at this age, and if you go throughout history, like you're kind of old. And I think that the older, especially now, we're like I don't know if like I want to say this, but like the red pill has like made people older. Like because you get such a glimpse into what things are more, and there was like less comparison that used to be done, so you could like stay a little bit naive to stuff for longer. But now that all that stuff like gets like front loaded, you're just older because you like you know what I mean? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't know what I mean. Maybe I can't articulate my thoughts. But I like that shit is just like for young people. Like if you set up like throughout history a fucking gala with 40 19-year-old dudes, and we'll go 17 because like the fucking 18 17 shit whatever. Or we'll go 20 and 18 just to be fucking correct. But if you were to set some shit up like that where you had like consistent social interactions and like mandatory like dancing lessons and like people doing this shit between like 20 and 18, and you took 40 of an each, bro, and you did that for fucking 6 months, 25 couples would form out of it and they would all be in love. You know what I mean? It's just that that's no longer the status quo, and the adults, which there are no adults left, the adults are gone. There are so few people who, even though they're technically an adult, they are not an adult because they were never forced to grow up. Like the adults have left. The last adults that I really remember were like the way how that my grandparents carried themselves compared to like even like my dad and his friends and his siblings carry themselves are just like so different. But that's a whole story for I guess another day. Um like that was just like what would happen. But now it's like you go to college and you lose your high school friend group, or then you go to college and it's like, oh, go and party and have fun. But like when I was there, I was just doing drugs a lot and drinking. I wasn't like focused on like anything else. I was like going to school just to go to school. And then once you leave that, it's like the dimorphism between the experiences of like a 23-year-old guy and a 23-year-old girl are just, I guess I want to say they're different, you know what I mean? But it's also like COVID one-shotted so many people where they don't know how to even get into relationships, whether they're a man or a woman. So it's like you're just meeting less people and there's less chances of just like organic interaction. Like the fact that like cold approach is a thing is so strange because I imagine that like 150 years ago in like New York City when you were like at the fucking market for I don't know fucking apples or bread, like people were just making conversation and small talk because that's all there was to fucking do. So because you had more, well, everyone was better socially because you kind of had more experiences and you had to be, and you were getting more exposure where you were able to like have more reps. So I don't think that love is rare. I just think that we've set up a society in which most people's routines don't have enough surface area for it. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. This was just a random rant. Maybe next time I make that chicken, it's really fire. It's salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and I make it in a skillet. And then when it's almost done, I grab some butter and I like baste it on top. It's magnificent. And then you put it in a container, and I'll chop up some broccoli, but I won't cook the broccoli. I'll just like throw it in another container. And then when I'm ready to eat, the broccoli goes in the air fryer with a little bit of salt for like 8 to 9 minutes till it's like perfectly like crispy on 350. And then it's a cup of rice and like 2 chicken thighs, and then a little bit of yum yum sauce, and it takes like from start to finish. By the time that you start the broccoli for the 8 9 minutes, everything else is done as it comes out, and that's like just like a great meal. It's easy as shit, and it's relatively cheap because the broccoli's cheap, and you do like one head, and you get like 4 meals out of it. The rice, you buy the instant rice, so it's like fucking 50 cents for the cup. The chicken's kind of expensive. It was like 13.50 for like 6 chicken thighs, but it's like, what would that be a meal then? It's like 4.50 for the chicken per meal, 50 cents. It was like 5.50, and you get like probably around like 800 calories. It's really not bad. Good gains. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you're having a fantastic day and enjoy.